The first thing I want to do is address the headrail and gently remove the clutch control. Hold on to this, rock it a little bit, slide back the headrail, remove the clutch control from the drive shaft, and I'll use a 3/32 inch Allen wrench to loosen that up, slide this out, and set that aside. I want to be careful as I remove the bottom rail end cap. This is sometimes a visible surface here, and I don't want to damage this or mar the painted finish of the headrail or the end caps in any way. Tap each side of the end cap just a little bit. Go ahead and remove that end cap. Remove the bottom rail, slide that out of the way, grab both easy adjusts and just pull them out, get all of the cord off of the spools in the headrail. Come to the headrail, flip this over, and remove the headrail completely. At each spool, cut away and remove the old cord. Open up this gate right here so I can get at the spool area. Over to the other side, and repeat that as well. Slide the tilt rod out of the way. Remove the spool from the cradle support here and remove all of the old cording. Do that on every single spool. Look at the ordered length of the shade. Take the ordered length of the shade and add 3 inches. So that would give me about 30 inches of cord that I'm going to use. And there's 30 inches. And then I'll cut that same amount of cord for each spool on the shade. Take my lacing needle, come in through the route on the bottom, pass through the bottom filler strip, remove the spool support housing, and now I can easily push my lacing needle right through, feed it through the spout of the spool support assembly, and position that in place, making sure that the spout there in the bottom is seated firmly and squarely into the filler strip hole. I can bring in my new cord and thread it through the lacing needle and just pull that right through. Nice and easy. Get this ready by tying double over knot and just cinch that knot down towards the end of the cord. Feed this into the open slot right here, and I can pull this all the way down, insert the slotted end into the housing first, and just snap that right into place and close the door. Working from the top side of the easy adjust housing here, I can see this little spout right here that's going to insert into the filler strip. Push the cord through that spout and bring it straight out the bottom. And give myself a little bit of cord to work with. Feed the cord back through that exact same hole that I just came out of. I want to guide the cord not back out through that spout, but immediately to the side of the spout. We can see this little open cavity here next to the spout, and that's where I'm coming back out, and I'll pull that all the way through. Push the cord down through this space in front of this bar right here, and just go ahead and pull that through. Come over this bar from the top and just push straight down and pull through. So I've essentially looped the cord around this bar, which is creating some resistance and friction for the cord to hold the weight of the shade. Flip this over, feed this cord directly through the disc here. Look at the housing from its side. Take the end of my cord, push it straight through the disc and straight out the other side. Take that same end of the cord, tie a double over knot, push that knot as much as I can to the end of the cord. Pull on it, make sure it's nice and tight. Trim away any excess cord. Pull the other end of the cord so that knot comes into the disc, and pull until I hear it kind of seat into the disc. Use either a 7/64 Allen wrench. I can always use the easy adjust key as well. Turn this in a clockwise direction 2 turns, just to take up a little bit of cord on the disc. Everything that I just did here, repeat that same process on each spool and each easy adjust disc housing for the shade. So now that I have each spool ready to go, bring in the drive shaft here, and this is what we call a V-shaft. The notch actually lines up with the slot on the spool. Push that right through. What I want to make sure of is that the lower limit stop nut is set all the way against the stop here, so as the shade lowers, it hits that stop and prevents the shade from over rotating or reverse rolling. At this point, I really want to make sure that everything is in place and everything is in alignment across the entire width of the headrail. Bring in my headrail. There is a channel on the bottom back and the bottom front area. the very top slat and the aluminum filler strip needs to insert into that channel. Move this across each spool just far enough so that it holds everything into place. Take up the cord so that each easy adjust meets the filler strip on the bottom rail. Press it right into the route hole and set it squarely into place for each easy adjust mechanism. So as I begin to bring the bottom rail to the bottom cell and the filler strip is inserting into these top channels, I don't want the filler strip to go into this channel here to the bottom. That's where the easy adjust mechanisms need to ride. Bring this across, slide that on all the way, and return my end cap. The curved portion is going to face the top of the shade. These features here will go into that bottom groove. Tap that into place to return the clutch to the shade. The clutch is going to seat fully onto the fabric, and what I'm looking for are these channels right here that will receive the top cell and the filler strip. So on an outside mount shade, there will be a fabric stop inserted onto the bottom side of the clutch. There is a stop tab right here that's going to stop the top cell and filler strip from inserting any further. Insert the clutch onto the fabric, lining up those channels, set it into place. Bring the V shaft to the drive of the clutch, fully seat that in there, and tighten down the locking collar. Bring the head rail to the clutch, and what I want to focus on is this feature right here of the clutch assembly, which is going to go into this top channel area on the top side of the head rail. Get that lined up, push this all the way in. Now I'm ready to hang the shade and set the final length with the easy adjust. All right, so now I have the shade hanging and I'm ready to make the final adjustments to the ordered length. Now remember, we saw that the ordered length for this shade was 27 inches. The first thing I want to do is just to make sure that I have fully lowered the shade by pulling the back cord. Until I hit that stop, it won't go any further. Now what I want to do is measure at the bottom rail, so from the top of the head rail to the bottom rail, and see where my bottom rail is lining up. You can see I'm a bit long here, it's about 28 inches. So I'll go ahead here and either using the 7/64 Allen wrench or the easy adjust key, and I will start on one side and I'm going to turn this clockwise, and I'm going to gently push up a little bit on the bottom rail as I'm taking that up. And I'll continue to turn that, and as I continue to turn that, and I'll just get close to 27 inches at this point. That's pretty close. But I want to come over here now, and you can see we're a bit too long here. So again, clockwise, righty-tighty, and I'll continue to raise that, and now I'm going to find 27 inches. That looks pretty good. I'm going to come back here to the right side for one final check, and I can see that's pretty darn close. I might try just one more click. So now my shade length is set to 27 inches, and I'll just go ahead and simply raise the shade, making sure that the shade operates smoothly and that the stack is even to the top of the shade. And that's how we record an applause standard with Easy Rise.